Mom Marie sent it to me in London with a silly, scribbled letter. I sent it back. Of course, I should have burned it.
We've got some updates and almost spoilers for Downton Abbey 3. The highly anticipated third movie is officially hitting theaters in 2025, and the cast is packed with familiar faces. Hugh Bonneville, Elizabeth McGovern, Michelle Dockery, Phyllis Logan, Robert James Collier, Joanne Froggatt, Penelope Wilton, Leslie Nichol, and more are all returning. Plus, Paul Giamatti and Dominic West are joining in too. Hugh Bonneville hinted that this might be the best movie yet, promising lots of classic Downton drama, thrills and spills in their own special way, which, as he joked, could mean something as dramatic as spilling a teacup. Another Downton movie? Is this the new Terminator franchise? Julian Fellowes has already wrapped up the Crawley family story 3 times, after the TV series finale, the first movie, and the second one. Not sure what convinced him to return to Downton, but the producers are probably thrilled. And honestly, as a big fan, I'm not complaining either. I'm always down for more Downton. But with so many storylines already wrapped up neatly, it'll be a challenge for Fellowes to keep the story moving forward, hopefully without messing with the happy endings from the past. But hey, it's not impossible. With filming done and the release date set, here's everything you need to know about Downton Abbey 3. Downton Abbey 3 is set to hit cinemas in the UK and US on September 12, 2025. There's a 3-year wait between the first 2 films, with some of the delay due to the COVID pandemic, and it's the same this time around. The previous movie, A New Era, came out in 2022, so fans will have to wait a bit longer for the next one. Filming took place between May and August 2024, and unless there are any reshoots, everything seems to be on track for the September 2025 release. The cast for Downton Abbey 3 is officially confirmed, and it's full of exciting returns and new faces. Michelle Dockery shared her excitement in the announcement video released in May 2024, saying, "It feels amazing, a tad emotional. It's wonderful to be back together again. You come back and it's like no time has passed at all." She added, "We're so happy to announce that we're in production for the 3rd Downton Abbey movie. We can't wait to see you." Returning cast members for Downton Abbey 3 include Laura Carmichael, Jim Carter, Alan Leach, Michael Fox, Raquel Cassidy, Brendan Coyle, Kevin Doyle, Harry Haddon-Payton, Sophie McShera, and Douglas Reith. There are also some exciting new additions to the cast, including Jolie Richardson, Alessandro Nivola, Simon Russell Beale, and Artie Frushan. While Imelda Staunton hasn't been officially confirmed to return yet, she had previously hinted at the movie before the announcement, so it's likely she'll be back. As for the Dowager Countess, who passed away in the sequel, it's unlikely she'll appear again in flashbacks. Unfortunately, Maggie Smith passed away on September 27, 2024, and it's uncertain whether she filmed any scenes for the 3rd movie before her passing. There's still no official word on whether Penelope Wilton will return as Isabel Grey, despite her earlier comments expressing interest. She told Digital Spy in April 2023, "I think I'd come back. Oh, definitely. Yes, even without Lady Grantham." Matthew Goode, who wasn't in the sequel due to scheduling conflicts, may return for the threequel, especially since the movie hinted at some turbulence in Henry and Mary's relationship, which could become a plot point if their schedules align. As for the plot of Downton Abbey 3 and how Downton Abbey 2 sets up a sequel, there are a few potential storylines I'd love to see. Starting with Mary's love life, which has always been impacted by real-world events. When Dan Stevens decided to leave, Fellowes had to write out Matthew Crawley, Mary's true love. Now, her second marriage to Henry Talbot is facing trouble because of Matthew Goode's busy schedule. Goode's other acting commitments kept him completely out of the second movie, which made it seem like Mary and Henry were on the rocks. It was a big letdown in the second film, but now Fellowes has the chance to address it. But how can he fix it? If Goode can't or won't appear in the next film, what happens then? We can't just have Mary sighing over her absent husband again. If Henry Talbot is missing again, something's gotta give, either a divorce or a death. It would definitely be tough luck for Mary to lose 2 husbands to tragic circumstances, but from a plot standpoint, it might actually be less complicated than a divorce. Whatever grim option Fellowes chooses, I'd hope the 3rd film is set a few years later, giving Mary the chance to either form a new relationship or maybe rekindle an old one. Could this be the perfect moment to get Lady Mary and Charles Blake together? Do they even have a ship name? Pig Rescuers? Of course, the easiest route for Mary would be if her second marriage doesn't have to end at all. If Good can be convinced to return, the plot could focus on him and Mary working through their issues and finding happiness again. I wouldn't mind if one of Mary's past love interests, Blake or even Sir Richard Carlisle, had a serious conversation with Talbot, pointing out just how much he stands to lose by neglecting his wife. Another storyline that could be interesting is Edith's marigold secret. Fellowes has been careful not to tie the film plots too closely to the TV series, but maybe this time he'll throw us die-hard fans a bone. The fact that Marigold is Edith's biological daughter, not just adopted, is a secret just begging to be uncovered by a nosy journalist or some other credible threat. There's potential for a lot of drama as the family and servants work together to keep the secret safe. I'd love to see Edith showing some of her sister Mary's strength and facing the challenge head-on instead of just whining about it. Next up, there's Peter Coyle's long-awaited return. Remember him? He's the charming but shady guy from Miss Baxter's past who convinced her to steal for him. What if we finally get to meet this smooth talker? He could show up in Miss Baxter's life again, making Molesley doubt himself with his good looks and charm. But once Coyle is exposed for the cad he is, Molesley would find out that Miss Baxter was never tempted to go back to him and actually thinks Molesley is worth far more than Coyle ever was. That would be a really sweet moment, though I doubt Molesley will get caught up in something too dramatic. He's much more suited for the comedy side of things. Kevin Doyle is such a great comedian, it'd be a waste not to let him shine with some hijinks. Moving on, we've got the Bateses' future. Yes, I'm actually asking for more focus on Mr. and Mrs. Bates. Even I felt a little awkward about how the Bateses have been sidelined in the two films. Maybe it's time for the couple to tackle a more grounded issue than murder charges? Back in Season 2, Bates wanted to start a small hotel with Anna, and she seemed totally on board with the idea. But look at them now. They're still stuck at Downton. What if Bates finally wanted to move on, but Anna felt guilty about abandoning Mary? Mary could step in and resolve things by telling Anna to live her own life, but that would definitely stir up some drama. Lastly, we've got Thomas plotting for the greater good. Now here's a shocker. I wouldn't have minded if Thomas didn't appear in the film at all. He got his happy ending in Downton Abbey: A New Era, and I really don't want Fellowes to mess it up. But since Robert James Collier is coming back, here's a thought. Thomas could visit his old servant friends, sort of, and get involved in one of the ongoing plots, like Peter Coyle's return or the Marigold drama. The servants could convince him to help by doing what he does best: scheming. Once Coyle or the Marigold snooper is out of the picture, Thomas can head back to Guy Dexter. That could work, right? Well, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. See you next time.